TSF Entertainment.
Yo, what up, though? And welcome back to CSF Entertainment. This time we are bringing you BMF Episode 4, The Return of the Prodigal Son, exclusive picks and predictions. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. The synopsis for Episode 4 says, Meech returns to Detroit upon Columbia Connect Loco's request to pick up weight for BMF. The amount of weight is insurmountable for him to handle alone. Thus, he solicits help from Terry and the Detroit team. So here we have Terry on the phone in his restaurant, and I'm pretty sure he is getting the call from Meech. And Meech is letting him know that he's coming back to Detroit because he has to pick up the work at Loco's request. So he's discussing with T that whole ordeal and how he needs his help to move the weight since it is so much weight that he was not expecting. It also could possibly be that T is getting info as he has been trying to find out who was the one who called CPS on him and LaWanda in reference to Terry Jr. Here we have Dr. Maurice and Lucille, and we see Lucille is all dolled up, hair all done and everything. Here at Dr. Maurice's office. So I'm thinking here that she finally took Dr. Maurice up on his offer to go out, especially as we saw on the last episode, her cousin Estelle practically pushing her to go out with Dr. Maurice, as she says, the whole thing with her and Charles is done. Here we have T and LaWanda on T's restaurant. So I'm sure here that they are discussing the whole CPS thing. They're trying to figure out exactly who it was that called CPS on them, and they're also coming up with a plan to make sure that CPS doesn't take Terry Jr. along with their unborn child. Here we have Meech in an airport hangar. We also have a character we haven't seen before, which is, we could tell from the stripes, is a pilot. Also, if you've watched last week's trailer, at the end of that trailer, we saw Meech in a van. This, more than likely, is the exact same van, and as we can see, is full of work. Now, the question being is, how is Meech going to get this work to Atlanta? So it looks like possibly he is talking to the pilot on how to get the work to Atlanta. The pilot might not be with it. As we all know, it's illegal. So we know Meech tactics on how to persuade someone. So he's probably going to offer the pilot, X amount of dollars. He also could be asking the pilot on how we're going to hide the work in the airplane as well. And maybe it doesn't go that way, and Meech has to drive that van full of work back down to Atlanta. But I'm thinking more than likely he's going to somehow, some way, figure out a way to get it on the plane. So here we have Lucille and Charles here back at the house. Now, from Lucille's facial expression, looks like she's not really feeling him. So from here, I'm guessing from after seeing that check from Dr. Maurice for 10 stacks, Charles decides to step his game up. So he's trying to get back in with Lucille somehow. And Lucille notices this and basically wonders, what's going on? You're not yourself. It's kind of the facial expression that she's giving Charles as Charles looks a little happy, a little excited. Here we have Meech, Nicole, and T sitting there playing video games. So I think here that more than likely Meech was the one who bought the video game system for Nicole. So they're all here basically having, spending time together, having like a quote unquote family reunion as they're all back inside of the Flannery home. Here we see Detective Jen and Amberson back here at the station, and I'm sure that they are discussing the whole shootout and everything that they had with Cuts. Amberson also could possibly be asking her questions in reference to Brian, as we saw Detective Bryant was there. Maybe she did see him, maybe she didn't. Um, but I'm sure she has some questions on how Twan, the driver, got unalived as she was shot in her shoulder. It also could be that Jen is on desk duty, but she doesn't care and she still wants to continue the case. Here we have T back here, which we all know this is Ren King's underground casino, and he's back here just gambling. And we see him there as well with Markeisha. Why he's there with Markeisha, that is a big question. I can't think of any reason why he would be with Markeisha at all. But I'm thinking T went back to Ren's casino basically to like test the waters, to see exactly what's going on in Ren King's camp, seeing where her mind is, and also probably letting Ren King know that he's coming back for his customers as he's getting work as well. Um, he also probably could ask her, were you the one who called CPS on me, in reference to Terry Jr.? I don't think that's likely, but, it could possibly be. And I'm pretty sure Ren King here tells T that she's out for blood with the unaliving of her cousin and tells him, basically it's on and probably kicks him out of her underground casino. Here we have Meech and Nicole in Nicole's room. So here it looks like they are having a heart to heart. I'm sure Nicole told Meech, that she misses him dearly. She wants him back home. She wants him to stay in Detroit. And Meech is telling her, like, I can't stay. He's telling her why he had to leave Detroit altogether. I'm also thinking that they could be having a heart to heart about her new friend Breeze, and Meech is telling her to be careful around this young boy. Here we have T hooping BMF Detroit. I'm sure that's Sterl as well here at the restaurant, and I'm more than likely sure that they are discussing on how they're going to move all the weight that they just received from Loco. So they're going to plan how they're going to get the weight, ship it out, everything, as well as take down Ren King in the process, as they know they are now a target from her cousin getting unalived. So here we have Lucille looking all dolled up again, and she's looking very upset about something. I'm not sure what's this about. It's not much to go off of, but I have a feeling that more than likely it has something to do with Charles. Here we see Nicole and Breeze, her new friend, here in the Flannery home. And I'm pretty sure, just by the way that they are holding hands, that neither Charles nor Lucille are home. So she invites Breeze over to hang out. And here we see that some other friends come over as well. But it looks like Nicole is not really into all of that, as she is more focused on the video game. Now, it could be quite possible that this is the before scene. Nicole, invited Breeze and her friends over to play her new video game. So this could be the before scene from the scene that we just saw where they were holding hands. Here we have Ren King and her cousin Tyson. As we know from the last episode, Ren King promised her cousin Tyson that they were going to get payback for whoever had a hand in taking out their cousin Twan. So I'm sure here this is exactly what they are discussing, along with ways on how to take out T and BMF, as well as probably steal their work in the process. Now here we have once again Dr. Maurice and Lucille. And from an earlier pic, as we saw Lucille standing in the hallway, she's wearing the exact same dress. So from the earlier pic, we also saw that it was dark. So I'm thinking here, this is the before scene before we get that shot of her in the hallway. So it kind of looks like, they're, Maurice is trying to keep her, you know, trying to find a way to bring her to come with him, stay with him, get in a relationship or whatnot, just from his facial reactions and everything. And from based off of Lucille's facial reaction and the way she's caressing his face, I'm thinking that Lucille is probably telling Maurice that she can't move or the relationship can't move any further due to her still being married to Charles. So that's it. So please drop your comments below and let us know what you think from those scenes that you just saw. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as well.